Hi everyone, it's Sue, and today's video is brought to you by the number 2. Why 2, you might ask? Because 2 is a very significant number at Christmas time. Remember the kings that came to visit the baby Jesus? Oh wait, that was 3, sorry. The ships that came sailing in on Christmas Day in the morning. Also 3. The days of Christmas. Now, wait, that's 12. That's getting way off track. Anyway, 2 is exciting today because today is December 2nd. It's also the first Wednesday of the month. So you know what that means. It's Wacky Wednesday! But double whammy, it's also our Elf Christmas movie collaboration. Twice the fun for the price of one. So because of that, we're going to have a lot of doubles today. We're going to have double hosts. So I am going to be co-hosting with the wackiest YouTuber I know and the sweetest, Indie Annie Jones. So please, please, please check out her channel, and I will put a link in the description box below. Now for you newbies who don't know what Wacky Wednesday is, the first Wednesday of every month, I get you, the subscribers, to suggest 3 totally unrelated items, sometimes not even crafty items, that I have to put together to make a DIY project. So this month, because it's double fun Wacky Wednesday, 2 of us are going to have to take the challenge. And also, I'm going to double the challengers. So normally, I have one subscriber suggest 3 things and I shout them out on the channel. But today, I'm going to make it even trickier. We're going to have 2 challengers. So our first challenger is Lern The Conjurer. So I will also put a link to her channel below. So she suggested 3 things that you'll find out soon enough. Our second challenger is Legolita Luna. Also a link to her channel will be in the description box below, and she suggested 3 things. So Indie Annie Jones and I have 6 items that we must incorporate into today's craft. Plus the last twist is it also needs to be in the theme of the movie Elf. Wow, doesn't get any wackier than this. So if you want to see how Indie Annie Jones and I make out with this crazy wacky challenge, let's get started. So as I said, my amazing co-host is Indie Annie Jones, and she's going to try to do this Wacky Wednesday challenge with me. And our 2 challengers are Lern The Conjurer, who suggested using the following items: tulle, pipe cleaners, and tissue paper. Our second challenger is Legolita Luna, who suggested these 3 items: metal wire, pillow stuffing, and styrofoam balls. So we have to use all 6 of these materials to make an elf themed craft. First, some belated shout outs from It's a Wonderful Life, Jujubee's Crafts and More, and Crafty Queen A&C. And from How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Rebecca Ann 67. And now for the elf collaboration: Carrie's Thrifty Farmhouse, Glue La La, A Dollar Tree Mimi's World, Leigh's Art Studio, King DDD Demon Angel, Tips with Mrs. T, Tutu's Crafty Kreations, and Shabby French Door. So I must confess that this is actually not one of my favorite Christmas movies, but my son Mason loves the movie Elf. And also, like a lot of parents I'm sure, I have a love-hate relationship with the tradition of the elf on the shelf. So shout out to my son Mason, who gave me the idea of, Mom, why don't you seek revenge by having the shelf on the elf as one of your Christmas crafts? So now I had hatched an evil plan, and in addition to the challenge items, I found this Merry Elfmas gift bag, this wooden tray from the Dollar Tree, this cute little elf sign, and this elf bottle cover, and some Gorilla Glue, hot glue, chalk paint, and my trusty shoe polish. So step one was to create my weapon of elf destruction, the shelf. So I took my Dollar Tree shoe polish and with just an old rag, I put a couple of coats all over the shelf just to make it look more rustic. So in the movie, Buddy the Elf tells us that the 4 food groups for elves are candy, candy corn, candy canes, and maple syrup, which would explain a lot of his wacky behavior. So I thought I definitely had to incorporate those 4 food groups into my decor. So starting with 2 of the challenge items being tissue paper and styrofoam balls, and actually pipe cleaners as well, I decided to make some candy. So I just took some of the sparkly white tissue paper and wrapped it around a styrofoam ball, then used some glittery pipe cleaners to attach around the ends and made some candy bonbons. So food group number 2, candy canes, I took a red, white, and green pipe cleaner and wrapped them around each other, then formed them into the shape of candy canes. For the candy corn, I took some yellow, orange, and white craft foam that I had and cut out the shapes of the candy corn and glued them together with some hot glue. And finally, to make the maple syrup, I took some brown craft foam and cut out a maple syrup bottle shape, and then found a Canadian flag sticker to put on the front of the bottle. So I wanted to keep the little elf sign intact as it was really cute, so I thought I'd flip it over, take the ribbon off, and paint the back with some chalk paint. The little wine bottle cover came with a little elf hat and the suit, so I dismantled the 2 of them and thought I would use the hat to put on my elf. So I fixed it with some hot glue, and then just using some markers and paint, I painted an elf face on my sign. So then I used some Gorilla Glue and hot glue to attach my sign to the shelf. So the orange marker that I used wasn't really showing up the way I wanted, so I ended up going over this with some orange acrylic paint for the elf's hair. Then I cut out the Merry Elfmas out of this gift bag from the Dollar Tree and glued that to the center of my sign. I then took the next challenge item, which was some pillow stuffing, and cut out some strips and put it around the sign to make some snow. Then I took my variety of candies and decided to decorate my sign. And now for the last two challenge items were the metal wire and tulle. So I decided to cut some strips of tulle and wrap the wire around it, and then I put a sparkly pipe cleaner in the middle to make some kind of snowflake star sort of ornaments to stick on my shelf. Now I'm sure this next part will put me on the naughty list, but it was worth it. I took the flattened elf suit that was the bottle cover and put it down and put my shelf on top of the elf. Then I glued the last of my candies to either one of his hands so that he got flattened while sneaking his treats. And finally I used my Cricut Maker to make the words shelf on the elf and attached it to the front of my shelf. So I hope you enjoyed my mischievous little project for this challenge, and make sure you check out all the other amazing YouTubers who collaborated. See you next time on Discovering the Art of Living.